Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything, and I'm coming at you with more RPG Tactics. Now, I've got a RoboTech RPG Tactics update. This is my kind of like weekly or bi-weekly update on my progress on RoboTech RPG Tactics. Okay, now, as you know, that I've already got how to make the cardboard buildings and the buildings from the Hawk Wargames Cityscape. That's for the game Drop Zone Commander. That's where all these buildings came from right here. I have some more on the way. Now, as you know, these are in 10mm, and I compared the mechs from the website because I don't actually have any physical mechs yet, but I compared the mechs to the buildings and to the videos, and I think that 10mm is going to work out really good. But another size, just a slightly, very much slightly smaller than 10mm, which might even be better, is 9mm. Now, you asked me, Derek, where can you get 9mm buildings? Those would work perfectly with 10mm. Guess what? N-scale trains are 9mm. So if you have N-scale train models, buildings, which I've got a ton of them because I used them with an old game called Command Decision when I was using my N-scale. I used HO buildings, but I also used N-scale buildings with some 15mm figures, blah, blah, blah. Long story. I've got a bunch of N-scale buildings, but they're not really appropriate. They look like European, World War II European buildings, so they're not real. Some of them might be good, like the water tower might be good, and who knows what else. But back to these buildings that I'm talking about, RoboTech Tactics, RPG Tactics. Okay, as you know, there's all these buildings here are constructed from the Cityscape box set. All but two. There's two buildings, and I can't even identify them just by looking at them. This looks like one of them. This is a paper building, okay, and where's the other one? And if you notice, this paper building and this cardboard building are basically almost exactly the same size, right? Okay, well, I also have this building right here. This is another paper building, okay, remember this one? Okay, well, this paper building does not match any of these other buildings' sizes. So there is unique buildings that are not the same as the Cityscape on their website. I thought that the ones on the website were exactly the same as the ones you get in the Cityscape box. They're not. The closest ones that I could find is something like this. Now, if you notice, this has a fairly large ground floor. They all do. And then 4 stories. Well, guess what? This one only has 3 stories. 4 stories? 3 stories. And the height is slightly different, approximately 1 story, 10mm approximately. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out, that there is a difference between the ones that you can get online, print them out yourself and make them. They are different than the ones you get in the game, but they all are very compatible. Roofs are very similar, colors and everything are very similar. The kind of a gothic, I don't really know. This kind of looks like an old, you know, I don't know how to explain it. But what I'm looking for now is to make some signs and to make some office or shops. Like I could put a sign on here and it says something like Joe's Diner or something like that, you know, on the side. I'm going to have to make a bunch of those. I'm going to go back through my RoboTech videos and I'm going to take some notes, you know, on some of the different shops that I see, and I'm going to recreate them. And I'm going to put them out there on these buildings. You'll notice that I have begun working on making some of the 3-dimensional terrain for the tops. That's really arduous. That takes a long time, and I don't really know how much of that I'm going to do. That's it already looks good like this. I really don't know if I want to pile on a bunch of little pieces like that just for looks, you know. I might do it, but right now I don't know. All right, well, thanks for coming out and checking out this video. It was supposed to be really quick, just to let you know that the paper ones, they are different than the ones in the box. This is a lot of buildings. If you haven't figured it out already, that's a ton of freaking buildings that I'm going to be able to use with my RoboTech RPG Tactics. That might be enough, but I'm still working on it. All right, well, come out and check out some more videos in the future.